It is time to give our predictions for how we think this game is going to go. Chris, you and I gave our predictions in the last segment there with the Turtle Heads. Aaron, I got yours earlier today, so I know what your score is as well. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give the score predictions, and then we're going to explain how we came up with our predictions, and we're going to give our final thoughts as we head into the big game against Maryland this weekend. Undefeated Maryland, undefeated Ohio State, big noon kickoff. Cannot wait. Aaron, your prediction is Ohio State 35, Maryland 24. Chris, you came up with the score of Buckeyes 38, Maryland 24. You both think 24 points for the Turtles. I believe it's going to be an Ohio State victory 28-17. All of us are under. We are all under on the 19 and a half points. But we all think it's going to be at least a two-score victory for the Buckeyes. Aaron, I'll start with you. How did you come up with your score and why?
I just guessed.
Fair enough.
I'm just kidding. No, I think, with a break, I think we got a little bit healthier, a little bit better, right? But without a game, there's a little bit of a drop off. It shouldn't be anything crazy, but I think there's going to be a little bit of a drop off. I think we're going to be slow to get started. And with the new clock rule, that might cost us a couple possessions. And I think that's going to limit our scoring ability. And then I have to give credit where credit is due. Maryland has handled their business this season, even if it was against lesser opponents. They have done what they're supposed to do. And I got to give them credit for that. They have a very experienced quarterback. They're dangerous offensively, and I know the defense is our strong suit, but I think they're going to put some points on the board, and that's how I came up with 24. A slow start mixed with a team full of experience. I gave them a little credit for that.
Chris, your turn.
Yeah, much like Aaron, I think that Ohio State offensively is going to be better. I do believe that, and Aaron, you were very, very close when you said a couple possessions less. It's actually 2.1 possessions less per game right now that we are seeing versus last year's team.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's something that I think holds us back a little bit. But at the same time, I think we start to see maybe this offense heading in the right direction. I'm not 100% sold on this Maryland defense. They haven't really played anybody, and you look, they gave up 20 points to Charlotte. Who the hell is Charlotte?
Aren't they a basketball team in the NBA?
Yeah.
Hornets?
Well, Maryland is a basketball school. So
poor man's Duke.
Poor man's Duke. So I think Ohio State's going to be good to put up points. Defensively, I do think that, like Aaron said, we got to give them a little bit of credit with the Maryland offense. I think they are going to put up some points. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's a 14 points more given up by the starting offense and maybe get one late in cleanup duty, where maybe our second string's in there a little bit late in the game and gives one up. But that's how I came up with 38-24.
All right, so the blueprint for this football game has already been played out. It was played out a week ago in Durham, North Carolina, when Notre Dame went in and played Duke. I've been making fun of Maryland, calling them poor man's Duke, trying to poke fun at them, the fact that that's who they wish they were in basketball. But we had a week to get healthy. Notre Dame went on the road to Duke, banged up, and they came away with a close win against Duke. If this game was played a week ago and it was in College Park, Maryland, I would say this game might come down to the last possession of the game. But we've had a week to get healthy, like you mentioned. It's in our house. This is a two possession win for Ohio State. Is Maryland improved? Absolutely. Are they going to give one of the big three a scare? That's what we talked about with Maryland coming into the season. Were they going to be able to give Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan a game? They gave Michigan a game last year. They came down to the final quarter of that game. And they had the Wolverines on the ropes in their house. Can they take them this year in their home? I don't know. I just think Maryland is a different football team in their stadium. When you got to go into an away game, into a stadium that holds over 100,000 people on national television, yeah, you might be hyped. You might think you have a plan, but like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
So, speaking of plans, Eric, do you think that there's any way that Ohio State decides to maybe do to Maryland what's been done to them all season long, where teams try to just run it out and grind out the game a little bit?
If we have the lead, maybe, and we're controlling the line of scrimmage, yeah, I can see that in the second half. Letting Chip, wear on you. Maybe Mayan's healthy enough to get in there and get some runs in the second half, possibly. But it's not in Ryan Day's nature to not want to throw the football, guys.
He can't help himself. We have to throw it.
It's like being married to a supermodel. I mean, come on.
Well, when you have that talent, dude, you want to use it. Spread the ball around. I got you.
I mean, yeah, you got a race car in the garage. You're not going to want to drive that thing. Of course you are.
Got a couple of them in the garage.
Well, yeah, we got a couple of them in the garage, but you know what? We also got 5 in the running back room as well.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but look at how he's utilized them this year. I mean, have we seen Dallin Hayden at all?
Not that I can think of.
No.
Barely seen Mayan.
Mayan's been MIA for the last, two games? 3
I
games?
got to think Mayan's still nursing an injury.
All right. I didn't want to say anything. There's a rumor floating around that Mayan Williams gained weight and was in the doghouse. And coaching staff said, you either drop the weight or you're not playing.
Too many meatballs?
Well, he lost weight to begin with, so he could play. So,
yeah.
It's a struggle. And then when you give a college student.
They did the same thing with Tyleik Williams last year, if you recall.
Yeah.
A lot. So, I don't know.
So, I don't know. So, yeah, we boast we've got five horses in the stable in the running back room, but up to this point, we've only really seen them utilize 2. But that's neither here nor there. All right, last question, guys. What do you expect to see, or would you like to see this Saturday when the game begins? What are you going to be watching for, or what would you like to see, Aaron?
I think I want to see, a passing attack that's effective. I want to see, instead of throwing from the 2-yard line, I want to see them use common sense play calling. I want to see a little bit more from the defense. I want to see pressure on Taulia. He looks great when he doesn't have to, when he can sit in the pocket. He's a good runner, but let's make that all game long. Let's put that pressure on him for 4 quarters. Let's see what this defense can do. I want to see the playbook get opened up some on offense, not just in the passing or the running game, in its entirety. I want to see Ryan Day open up just a little bit. We're approaching midseason. Let's see what this happens.
Chris, what would you like to see happen this Saturday?
Defensively, I'm with Aaron. Defensively, I'm 100% with Aaron. I want to see pressure on Taulia. You know what? If he's going to beat us, let him beat us with his feet. Force him into that game because, as I said, those Tagovailoa boys can only take so many hits before they're done for the game. So, yeah, force his hand. As far as offensively goes, I want to see him. If Ryan Day's going to come out throwing the ball, and I think we can all agree that's probably what's going to happen, I want to see him, as Aaron said, make common sense calls. Let's get Kyle McCord some good, early, quick routes that he can hit quickly, get some confidence built, and then just unleash the beast once he's got that going for him. We've been waiting to see it. We all think he's got the arm talent to do it. You know what? Let's let him loose. Let's ride or die with him at this point, guys.
See what happens.
Defensively, I'm going to be specifically watching the linebackers this week. There's been a little talk that they kind of were MIA a little bit in Notre Dame, or they kind of got Notre Dame kind of Notre Dame kind of abused them a little bit. They got lost in the shuffle, if you will, in the Notre Dame game, and thankfully Lathan Ransom stepped in and had a great game and kind of filled the shoe of that third linebacker coming down from the safety position. Sonny Styles did as well, especially on that fourth down where they both stopped him on the goal line, or not the goal line, but on the fourth down run. That was, where that could have really should have been a linebacker in that situation, but they were being gap sound, and just so happened that play kind of ran to the outside. But the linebackers, both Steel Chambers and Tommy Eichenberg, didn't have their best games against Notre Dame. This is a linebacker game for me. You got a quarterback who is athletic and active. You've got wide receivers. A lot of them will come over the middle. There's a lot of action in those routes that they're running that Aaron showed us, where people are sweeping over the middle of the field. That's where a linebacker can absolutely take somebody's head off. And they got a decent running attack as well, as Aaron showed us in the video there. So with Hamby and a couple other guys that they're going to be throwing at us. And so the linebackers need to step up. Offensively, you know me, I'm a big guy. I'm watching the line of scrimmage. Can our offensive line make sure that they give Kyle McCord plenty of time to find the open receiver? Like we talked about on Sunday, what is the identity of this team? Who's open? That's the identity. Get to the open man. Find the open man. Well, in order to do that, he's going to need some time. They're going to do a lot of stunts. They're going to do blitzing like Aaron showed us again. Can the offensive line hold up and keep the pocket clean for Kyle McCord? If they do, it's going to be a win for Ohio State. If they don't, then it's going to be a dogfight. And I think we might be in for a little bit of a dogfight for about 3.5 quarters. But I do believe Ohio State's talent is going to overcome and is going to win this game on Saturday, and we're going to move to 5-0. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. Any last thoughts?
I have none. Just got to execute now.
Chris?
Man, I'm just pumped for the game. I am so pumped to knock the turtle head right out of him.
Knock the turtle head back in?
Knock that turtle head right back up in there. We don't want to see that puppy poking out.
Strike 3 from YouTube just happened.
This is my 2-week notice.
Yes. Oh, guys, enjoy the game Saturday. If you're not going, enjoy it being on Fox. That's awesome. The next one, unfortunately, is on the Peacock. But we're going to that game, so we don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
So enjoy this one. Everybody be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Until next time. OH!
I-O.
I-O.
Go Bucks.